I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Democratic Congress member Eric Swalwell just absolutely exposed and obliterated MAGA Republican and chair of the Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan. Now, Jim Jordan, as chair of the Judiciary Committee, held a hearing, a subcommittee hearing with this title, and I kid you not, the Judiciary Subcommittee on Compliance with Committee Oversight. So it focused on compliance with committee oversight. Can you get any more projection than that? I mean, Jim Jordan failed to comply with committee oversight back when he was subpoenaed before the January 6th committee, and he's now holding a hearing on compliance with committee oversight. So here is Congressman Eric Swalwell saying what this is really about is that Insurrection LLC is holding a partner meeting to try to fight for the petty grievances of their cult leader, Donald Trump. Play this clip.
Another partners meeting of Insurrection LLC. That's what this is. This is the newly formed largest law firm in Washington, D.C. Only has one client, maybe a second client that we're going to learn about today, but that client is former President Donald Trump. Their job is to litigate every one of his petty grievances. Perhaps the next client is Elon Musk, and that's why FTC has been called here today. But Jim Jordan's obstruction of justice committees that he's overseeing have less credibility today than they did when we convened just 3 weeks ago. It's now 321 days since this subpoena was sent to Jim Jordan that he did not comply with. So it's comical that we are here today under Jim Jordan's leadership asking people why they don't want to comply with subpoenas. The guy won't comply with the one that was sent to him 321 days ago. Witness to a crime, the crime that has led to more arrests than any investigation in America. He's a witness being asked to do his patriotic duty and respond to a subpoena 321 days later, refuses. Also, since the last hearing of this committee to obstruct justice, Chairman Jordan is now interfering in an independent criminal prosecution. There's an investigation in Manhattan, also in Atlanta, also at the Department of Justice, into the former president. And Jim Jordan has sent a letter to the independently elected District Attorney, Alvin Bragg of Manhattan. He is asking Alvin Bragg to commit a felony. Why is he asking Alvin Bragg to commit a felony? To help Donald Trump. Why is it a felony? Because if Alvin Bragg were to turn over what Jim Jordan is asking, Alvin Bragg would be violating New York law that says you cannot turn over grand jury proceedings. But that's what they're asking him to do. Again, the law doesn't matter if your client is Donald Trump.
I mean, the irony is so rich, yet also so completely dangerous and deranged that Jim Jordan has failed to comply with his subpoena now for over 321 days, and he's holding this subcommittee hearing. Now, Eric Swalwell, by the way, don't you love how Eric Swalwell behind him kind of blows up in massive font on these poster boards, all of the kind of tweets and the subpoenas, just so everybody can see him. I think he does a masterful job. And you know, Eric Swalwell, before he was a member of Congress, used to be a prosecutor out in California. And so those were also very good tools to advocate in front of a jury to kind of show them the various points that are very important. And here, Eric Swalwell has blown up on these poster boards behind him Donald Trump's social media post, where Trump calls for death and destruction if he is criminally charged. And Swalwell recounts this story where Jim Jordan told a reporter that he hadn't seen Trump's post. And then when the reporter showed Jim Jordan the actual post, Jim Jordan said he didn't have his glasses, so he couldn't see it. But watch Congressman Swalwell call Jim Jordan out for this. Play the clip.
This posting. Jim Jordan was presented with this post by the former president that calls for death and destruction. And Mr. Jordan said that he would need his glasses. He was looking the other way. Jim Jordan, looking the other way. Well, we have blown up on the screen, and we've put it right here, and I'll leave it for Jim Jordan. This is what Donald Trump said, Mr. Jordan. What kind of person can charge another person, in this case a former president of the United States, who got more votes than any sitting president in history and leading candidate by far for the Republican Party nomination, with a crime, when it is known by all that no crime has been committed, and also known that potential death and destruction in such a false charge could be catastrophic for our country? Why and who would do such a thing? Only a degenerate psychopath that truly hates the USA. Again, I'm going to leave this up here in probably 200 font, so Mr. Jordan doesn't need his glasses to read it.
And here is Congressman Eric Swalwell saying, look, these MAGA Republicans, they don't support the blue. Just look what they did last week at the hearing regarding the ATF. They could have called anybody, but they called people to testify who say, F the cops, F the blue. Just take a look at this clip by Eric Swalwell. Play it.
It's also about a tweet that Jim Jordan posted back in the fall. Kanye, Elon, Trump. Now, after that tweet was posted, Kanye said he's going to declare DEFCON 3 on the Jews. The tweet stayed up for months. Everyone was like, hey guys, turns out your hero, Kanye West, hates the Jews. We all stand with Israel. Please take down the tweet. They didn't take down the tweet. They kept the tweet up. Day after day, Jewish community, they're hurting. They say, hey, please don't put this tweet up. It stays up. So we can cross Kanye out, but it looks like we're here today for the other two, Elon and Trump. And we're also here because the Republican Party that's done such a great job over many years standing up for the police no longer back the blue. Last week, we had a hearing where you could call anyone in America when you have the majority, the power of a subpoena. We had a hearing about the ATF. These guys brought a witness who had just recently tweeted, fuck cops. Fuck cops. That's what this guy tweeted. Anyone on earth could have come to that hearing, and they brought someone that said, fuck cops. Then one of their colleagues, this is what she's selling on her social media: defund the FBI. So we went from backing the blue to backing the coup.
And here, Congressman Eric Swalwell takes just kind of a parting shot at Jim Jordan, thanking the witness for showing up, something that Jim Jordan didn't do when Jim Jordan was served a subpoena. Watch this clip.
Ms. Bumpus, thank you again for also doing something that Jim Jordan would not do and responding to a subpoena.
One of the things we also noticed here at the MeidasTouch Network, and we posted about this on our various social media accounts, is that Jim Jordan's basically has conversations with himself throughout the day on social media. So he'll post something on his own social media account or his Twitter account, like you see right here. Like he'll say, Democrats demanded blah, 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 whatever conspiracy theory that he's pushing. And then he'll have the House Judiciary GOP Twitter account, which he controls, quote tweet him and say things like scary. It's like having a conversation with himself. And now here is another example where Jim Jordan's spreading some conspiracy theory about IRS agents just because they don't want Donald Trump to have to actually pay the taxes that he's supposed to pay, which he's paying to China instead of the United States. And then the House Judiciary GOP account, which Jim Jordan controls, then quote tweets Jim Jordan and goes, no, but Joe Biden does. And like he's having these conversations with himself. And one of the other things about Jim Jordan, which to me is just interesting, Jim Jordan's never passed the bar exam in any state. And at the bottom line is that I don't hold it against anybody if they haven't passed the bar exam or if they haven't took the bar exam, or if they've gone to law school or not. Like that's not what this is about. But if you're going to chair the Judiciary Committee, shouldn't you be a licensed lawyer? I mean, wouldn't you want, maybe you could do other committees, but don't we want someone who holds that position to be a licensed lawyer? I'm just saying. Okay, now this clip right here has nothing to do with any of the other clips. I just didn't know where to put this, and I wanted to share it with you. Here is Marco Rubio, MAGA Republican senator from Florida, just randomly talking about booty videos. Play the clip.
And I'm glad we don't do this enough, which is this back and forth. So I'll be brief. The first is, this is not a First Amendment issue because we're not trying to ban booty videos. I don't know if there's a better term for it, but that's not what we're trying to ban. This is not about the content of the videos that are online. It is about the dangers to the national security that are presented by the way that this company functions.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't put that video anywhere else, but I wanted to share it with you because it's just so absurd how unserious these MAGA Republicans are. When you compare Eric Swalwell, former prosecutor, someone who is beyond well qualified, who is advocating for the American people. That's what intimidates. That's what threatens these MAGA Republicans so much. What you saw right there, they're afraid of that. You know, Jim Jordan wishes he could be that. So Jim Jordan tries to cosplay the fascist version of Eric Swalwell, but completely fails. And you see the real Eric Swalwell call him out. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers. Thanks to your support. Please hit the subscribe button right now. Also, check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. We are not funded by any outside investors at all. So the way this independent media network is funded is through our Patreon. So wherever you are in the world, if you want to help grow this platform, check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Wherever you get audio podcasts, just search MeidasTouch podcast and download that for free. Subscribe as well, or follow us on Instagram. Search MeidasTouch on Instagram, and right here on YouTube, subscribe. It's free to subscribe here as well. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas. Thank you so much for watching.
Love this video? Then you'll love the MeidasTouch podcast. Listen as my brothers and I break down the latest news and chat with top political leaders on the fastest growing pro-democracy podcast in the world. New episodes drop every Tuesday and Friday. Add the MeidasTouch podcast right now wherever you listen to your podcasts.